Hello, everyone, and welcome to Second Life University, a project that aims to provide informative content about the virtual world of Second Life. My name is Strawberry Linden, and today we will be getting some Linden exchange tips from Second Life's Tier 1 support supervisor, Spots Linden. Thanks for joining us, Spots.
Hi, Strawberry. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's lovely to have you. Before we get into the tips, because I know we have a lot to cover today, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Linden Lab and how long you've been here?
Absolutely. As you've said, I run the Tier 1 support team. We're the billing experts. We assist with a number of basic account issues as well, such as password resets, reactivations, and more. If anyone's ever reached out to us in a support ticket, you've probably spoken with my team first. I actually haven't been with Linden Lab as long as most. I just recently hit my 3-year mark, but I've been on a number of teams since joining. I started out as a member of the Tier 1 support team, became absolutely fascinated with some of the crazy questions and issues that can pop up on
Oh,
such
yeah.
a diverse platform, and quickly made my way up to the concierge team. After that, there was an opportunity to run the Tier 1 team, and I absolutely leapt at it. It certainly doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I've been running this team for a year and a half now. As a resident, I've been off and on since 2007 over a few accounts. It is incredible how far Second Life has come. I still have a really early Law Squad avatar on one of my accounts, and I'll say I have no idea how creators do what they do. Blender is an absolute mystery to me,
Oh, yeah.
but it's amazing to see that creations get more detailed and complex as Second Life continues to grow. Uh, Personally, I'm a huge fan of social video games, board games, going out disc golfing, and if I'm not busy with those, you'll likely find me buried in some sweet treats, coffee, or trying to share my latest delicious discovery with my friends.
Well, you know what? We have a lot in common because I've also been a resident since 2007 and an employee for 3 years, and I'm totally into the sweet treats and coffee myself.
Well,
Well, this is
cheers. We'll
great.
have to share some tips.
For sure, for sure. Okay, let's get into it because we have a lot to cover today. Can you give us a brief summary of what the Linden Dollar Exchange, or sometimes referred to as the LindeX, is and how it works?
Absolutely. The Linden Dollar Exchange, or LindeX, is an open market game token exchange that enables Linden Dollars to be purchased or sold in exchange of fiat currency. So, for example, whenever you hit that Buy Linden Dollars button in the viewer, or if you buy Linden Dollars from your dashboard, those Linden Dollars are being sourced from the LindeX. And many people may not realize this, but the Linden Dollar exchange and the rates in which you exchange those Linden Dollars for fiat currency is resident driven. The Linden Dollars that you purchase on the exchange are sourced from another resident, and similarly, if you sell Linden Dollars, they're being sourced to someone else. Uh, you won't ever see who the Linden Dollars either came to or came from or went to, but I think it's really cool that Second Life has its own living and breathing market exchange economy.
Oh, I do too. It's so amazing how weird, that it works like that. Tell us a little bit more about the ways you can purchase or exchange fiat currency for Linden Dollars.
So there's two different ways that you can purchase Linden Dollars this way. Most residents tend to not want to wait when it comes to purchasing Linden Dollars and
Yeah.
either use that Buy Linden Dollar button in World or purchase Linden Dollars on a market buy through the dashboard. These orders are known as instant buys because they are almost always instantly completed. There's a few rare cases where they can take up to 25 to 30 minutes for them to finish, but I think most people here will recognize that cha-ching sound in their
Oh, yeah.
viewer after after a purchase.
Right.
So the other way you can purchase Linden Dollars is through a limit buy, also known as a best rate buy. These can seem a little bit more complicated to some residents, and if you're not seeing this option, you may need to enable it on your dashboard. So
Okay.
you can do this. If you want to go ahead and pull it up, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do this, you can select Manage on that bottom left under Linden Exchange and
Okay.
select Linden Dollar Exchange Settings. It's towards the bottom there.
And then, okay, here we go.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
by default, this is set to basic. If you do want to see a little more information and be able to make a limit buy order, make sure you have that advanced option checked and save it. Um, Limit buys allow you to specify both the amount of Linden Dollars that you wish to purchase, and the difference is they let you set the minimum exchange rate you're willing to accept as well. So The Lindex automatically matches up buy and sell offers as they come in. So when you place a limit buy order, you'll be charged for the order when it's created, and the Linden Dollars will be delivered to you as soon as a matching offer to sell Linden Dollars is found.
So how long does that take to fulfill a limit buy?
So that can be a little bit of a difficult question.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lindex is resident driven, we're not able to see when residents might exchange Linden Dollars or the rates that they wish to exchange them at. So we can't really give a firm answer here. We can, however, provide an estimate of how long the order might take to complete when it's being made, but we still can't guarantee when it will complete.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, when limit buys are created, they're put into a queue with all of the other open orders based on the rate that's specified. And as matching sell orders are found, the purchase orders are filled in order from oldest to newest. On that page that you're at, if you scroll down just a touch, when we have that advanced option checked,
Mm-hmm.
we can see the open sell and buy orders towards the bottom there. So you
Mm-hmm.
can use this to help get an idea of what you might want to do. Um, for aggressive rates, this can lead to some situations where residents might be waiting a little longer than they'd like to. Like I said, especially if there's an aggressive exchange rate for their order.
Mm-hmm.
An idea I like to float when considering exchange rates is that while exchanging $1 for 1,000 Linden dollars may sound like an amazing deal,
Yeah.
it kind of works the other way as well. Someone has to want to sell Linden dollars at that rate before it becomes a reality. So you might be waiting for quite a while.
Right. So what options do residents have in these situations if they have been waiting for longer than they'd like?
So there are a few options available, but it boils down to either waiting, doing a little bit of research, or choosing to cancel an order and get the funds returned back to you as a credit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to do a little bit more research to guide your decision, you can review all of the trading data on the dashboard. It's located under that same Manage section under the
Mm-hmm.
Linden Exchange and select Market Data.
Okay.
This includes a lot of information. This is why it's under the advanced menu options.
Right.
So from here, you can see the detail from, this includes daily highs, lows, best buying and selling rates, and much more, and is visible over various time periods as well. So we can't really give advice on what rates you should or shouldn't set, but we point you here to help you make an educated decision. If you want to get some advice from other residents, you're also welcome to discuss this on our community forums as well. So say you do want to cancel your order and get your money and get the funds back.
Right.
You can do so from that same Manage menu, but
Mm-hmm.
this time we'll select LindeX Order History.
Okay.
So here you can see that there's an open order. You can see all your open orders, all your previous orders, and things like that.
Oh, yes, this
Um,
one right here. Okay.
yes, and on the right-hand side of that order, there's a cancel button. You can go ahead and click that, but what this will do is it'll cancel the order and
Oh.
return all of the. I, I
Okay.
think you have that one.
Yeah. It's fine.
Sorry
So
about that.
we can cancel the order here and
Yeah,
then,
you can
yeah.
cancel the order, and it'll return the funds back to you as a USD credit.
Okay.
You can use this credit to place another Lindex order. We'll often see residents place a market buy after this because they just want their Linden dollars so they can go shopping, pay
Right.
rent, or whatever. But you're welcome to create a new limit buy order as well if you have another rate in mind. If you would like these funds back, not as a credit, but refunded back to your payment method, just reach out to our support teams and we'll help get you sorted out.
Okay. And what about selling lindens? Are there market and limit sells as well?
Yes, there are. So
Okay.
just like market and limit buy orders, there are market sell and limit sell orders as well. They actually act quite similarly and can be accessed from the Manage and Sell Linden Dollar page.
Okay.
So proceeds from any Linden Dollar sales will be applied to your USD balance. This is usually as a credit, but if you have any outstanding fees or balances, it'll be put towards those first. So market sell orders will exchange Linden Dollars at the current market rate. The benefit here is that orders tend to complete quite quickly, and it's a simple process for residents to go through.
It's pretty much instant here, I think, right?
It can take just a touch longer
Mm-hmm.
because, again, we don't know when residents are going to purchase
Right.
Lindens. So while it's probably coming up next, we don't know when next will be.
Sure.
They do
Okay.
tend to complete very quickly, though.
Okay.
But the difference between a market sell and a market buy is that, well, like I said, while it's still a faster way to sell, it can take a touch. So limit sells act similarly as well. So when creating an order, you'll specify a minimum exchange rate. We'll hold the Linden dollars you're wishing to sell, and as the order is purchased by other residents and fulfilled, we will dish out those Linden dollars, and proceeds from the sale will be applied to you as a USD credit.
So you can just literally type in the exchange rate here. I just picked one from the one currently over here and figured that out. Okay. Interesting. Very good. So, sorry, you were about to say something?
Oh no,
Okay.
it's selling Linden dollars is pretty easy. It's just market sells are pretty quick. Limit sells, it depends on whatever rate you specify and how aggressive or generous that might be.
Okay, so once I've sold my Linden dollars, and I have a USD credit on my account, how can I withdraw? How can I withdraw that credit from the account balance?
So withdrawing the credit is also known as a process credit request, or we just call them PCRs.
Okay.
So while issuing a PCR itself is easy, there's a few steps involved in making sure you're set up for it. So there's KYC, or Know Your Customer. This is managed by Tilia. Some of you may have seen their logo around. They're a subsidiary of Linden Lab that helps offer certain financial services to the Second Life community, and helps us deal with a thing called laws and regulations. They help with that, so we can help with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up is adding a receiving account we can transmit these funds to. It's just a PayPal or a Skrill account. Third is making sure that you have an established billing relationship with us. This sounds complicated. It's really easy. And then fourth is issuing the PCR.
Okay.
So for KYC, whenever we want to transmit money out to residents, that's where compliance and regulations comes into play. So if you want to credit out all or part of your USD balance to a PayPal or Skrill account, then both Linden Lab and Tilia are required to comply with these laws and regulations. So what this means for you is that you'll need to go through a quick web form to provide Tilia with some information about you. And you can get started on this by going to your dashboard, and you're already there, but by selecting Account and Process Credit. So there's this big angry red box at the top. This is actually what we want to see here. So what this means is we haven't provided any information yet. And you can get started on that. We won't do it here, but it'll ask for a little bit of personal information, and in most cases this process completes nearly immediately. But if you have any questions, reach out to us and we'll get you pointed in the right direction.
So that's not too bad. You just filled that out. You mentioned a receiving account was next. What does that mean?
Yes, so that is where we're transmitting the money to. So for PCRs, we can transmit money out to a PayPal or Skrill account that you have added on onto your billing information page. So if you go to the top left under Account and select Billing Information towards the bottom of that drop-down menu, this is where you can add on your PayPal and Skrill accounts.
Okay.
So while your PayPal account may work with online retailers, we do require that PayPal accounts are verified with PayPal before they're able to be used with Second Life. Linking your bank account with your PayPal account and having a backup payment method of a credit or debit card should meet these requirements and let you add it on. And after that, we just need to make sure we have an established billing relationship.
So how do you do that? How do you establish a billing relationship with Linden Lab, or check to see if you have one already?
So for residents that have bought or sold Linden dollars in the past, they've actually already done this. It's just a one-time thing. If this is your first time attempting to sell Linden dollars or to issue a PCR, or you've only recently made your first purchase, you may need to go down and check out your billing and trading limits. You can review these limits under that same Manage menu, and by selecting the Billing and Trading Limits section.
Okay.
So this shows you your current purchasing, selling, and process credit limits. If it's shown your process credit and sell limits are 0, it means you haven't established a billing relationship with us quite yet. Or if you have made a purchase, you just need to wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
So, like I said, as far as starting this billing relationship, it's as simple as making any USD purchase at all. Whether it's a premium membership, creating your first LindeX purchase order, big or small, doesn't matter, it's up to you. Once this is done, your limits will slowly increase over time until you're able to both sell Linden Dollars on the exchange and issue process credits. I know this can seem like a bit of a hurdle to some, but we do have these economic limits in place to help facilitate the needs of Second Life residents and balance our risk mitigation efforts.
This is great. So basically, anything purchasing Lindens or signing up for premium, that's one of the first steps to getting that. You also mentioned there were more involved steps. How do you issue a process credit request after all of this?
So that's actually all of the hard work. Issuing a PCR itself is easy. So after you've sold your Linden Dollars on the exchange and you have a US dollar credit, you guessed it, we go back to the dashboard. It's where everything happens.
Yeah.
This time you'll select Account up top and choose Process Credit.
Process credit, okay.
So the main hiccup that we see on this page is people need to make sure that they select that receiving account. So under that receiving account section, hit Change. Make sure that PayPal account looks familiar. Make sure it's selected. And after that, we'll go through the next page where you'll select how much you want to process out and just hit Continue. So these requests can take up to 5 business days. That's Monday to Friday, not including US bank holidays, and they'll show up in the receiving account that you selected. So I've said it once, but please, please, please make sure that you double check that your PayPal or Skrill email address is up to date with us before issuing a process credit request. If you've gone and updated your email address on either of those platforms, it actually doesn't automatically update with us. If you see it's listing an old email address, make sure you remove and re-add it from the account and billing information page that we were at earlier to bring it up to date. And if you have any questions, we're always happy to help check into your PCR, but we like to get ahead of those questions if we can.
So that's actually interesting. I didn't know that it doesn't auto update if you change it on PayPal. So that's one thing to make sure, keep in mind that you have to come in and update it here as well. Also, you mentioned people to come and go to the support portal to file a ticket. What is the best way to file a ticket for getting more billing information?
So we often hear a lot of questions about what should I file this ticket under? Where should it go?
Right.
We need the details to put in there. File it under billing. The important part is getting the ticket in and using that description box to let us know any details that you'd like. More details, the better. The less questions we have to ask, the faster we can get you your help. And if it does end up getting routed to the correct team, that's what we're here for. We make sure we get you in touch with the team that can best assist you.
Right, and the fastest way to get to the support portal, of course, is support.secondlife.com, and there's also a way in World, right? You can go to help and then support from here as well, I believe. Right here, support portal. That's great.
Yeah, and we see there's a few different ways to get there. The fastest way that we advise residents to get over to our support portal is back on the dashboard. Of course, I have my favorite place. If you just don't click it, but mouse over help at the top in that black bar, there's a support history button in the bottom right there.
Right, support history, okay.
Support history. That'll bring you over to our support portal. You'll see a big orange submit a ticket button, and that's the fastest way to get there. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We're back. Okay, so that's great. So that way you can easily, you're already logged into the dashboard, and then you'll be logged into the support portal as well. And of course, everybody has different options once they get to support too, depending on their level of account, right? If they're a premium member or different things like that, I believe.
Yes, basic, premium, and concierge status members, it can appear a little bit different to everyone. That's why I really like mousing over help and clicking support history. It's going to be the same for everyone and the fastest way to get there. It may actually ask you to log in again just as we transfer over from Second Life to our support provider, Freshdesk. But we just like to make sure that you're you.
Right.
And if you can't log in, then we still have options to submit a guest ticket as well, just using whatever email address we can contact you at.
Good to know. So do you have any other tips for us that you want to tell us? This is it was a lot of information, I have to say.
Yes, I know there's a lot of information here, but if you ever have any questions about any of these steps, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. like I said, we'll help get you on the right track. But I do have a couple final tips to share.
Okay.
So if something goes wrong, say you accidentally ordered too many Linden Dollars and spent $200 instead of $20. Oh no.
Oof.
Or you have some questions about a Linden Dollar exchange order.
Hmm.
Please make sure you don't touch anything. Leave the Linden Dollars there and reach out to our support teams first. We can fix pretty much anything. We can help explain any Linden Dollar orders that you've made. But if some of the Linden Dollars for an order are spent or were sold trying to correct a mistake on your own, it becomes a much more complicated web for us to unweave. So reach out to us first, and we'll help make sure that you're sorted out properly.
So you're saying I shouldn't go on a shopping spree first?
No, if you accidentally order $200 worth of Lindens, spend those Lindens, and ask for a refund, then we might have some questions first.
Okay. We have some questions in the YouTube chat, but go ahead. I think you were about to give us another tip first.
Yeah, I've got one kind of final tip, and it's from a fun show that I enjoy called The IT Crowd. The quote is, "Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?" And
Right.
whether it's removing and re-adding a payment method that's not working, closing out of and relaunching your viewer, or honestly even logging out and logging back into your Second Life dashboard, you'd be amazed at the number of times that turning something off and on again in some aspect will fix an issue.
This is very true. This is very true. So we have a question on YouTube. Not sure if this is something that you'd be able to answer, but someone is asking, what's the turnaround time for support? I'm sure it varies.
So we do often see a little bit of a bump after holidays, but a
Right.
lot of our support teams are in good shape right now. I don't want to speak for any other teams, but I know my team has a pretty good turnaround time right now. We try not to give quotes like that, but you'll end up getting an answer pretty quick if you put a ticket in now. Around major holidays and breaks, it can be a slight delay, but don't hesitate to ask us and we'll help at least make sure that your ticket's with the right team, and worst case, we can get some extra eyes on it.
Great. I don't see any more questions. This was terrific. A lot of information. If you look in the description of the video, I've also linked to our blog post, and I will also put in the captions soon after this video. And we're going to have links to different, websites and our wiki and so forth that has more information about this stuff as well. I think this was great. So again, if you have any more information, please file a support ticket. Go to the support portal, and our support team is there to help you out with anything you need. Thank you so much, Spots. I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us all this today. I learned a lot too.
No, you're very welcome. I'm always happy to. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you to our viewers for watching. I hope you found it informative. Keep an eye out for more Second Life University videos coming soon. And don't forget to stay safe and stay virtual. Bye, everyone.